Welcome to Just Relationships, the show that offers you concrete ways to make your relationships better. Whether it's your boss, your spouse, your children, or your friends, the quality of your relationships in life directly affects how you feel about yourself and the success you achieve. Your host, Dr. Duffy Spencer, a psychotherapist, telecoach, author, and seminar leader, will interview top experts to help you learn to manage this essential part of your life. And now, here's your host, Dr. Duffy Spencer.
Greetings to you. Well, if you tuned in last week, you know you're in for a treat because we have Fran Greene back with us. Fran Greene is a very interesting combination of a guest for me because she's writing on a very popular topic, or shall we say a very important need, which sounds kind of surface. It's about flirting. And I have had people on the show who have written about flirting who don't have really a strong background in humanistic skills or don't have a lot of groundedness to them. And Fran Greene is a licensed social worker. So we're looking at someone who has depth and knowledge and who has a whole different slant on flirting and how meaningful it can be and how uplifting it can be. So Fran has written several books, and the book we're going to be talking about today is Dating Again with Courage and Confidence, a 5-step plan to revitalize your love life after heartbreak, breakup, or divorce. Welcome back, Fran Greene.
Dr. Duffy, I am so glad to be back. I loved our show.
Oh, thank you.
It was fabulous.
It was such fun for me to interview you, Fran, and you talked about flirting being fun. And now this book is really especially poignant because it's dating again.
Yes.
And courage and confidence. These are things that many people have a hard time with, especially if they're in an again situation, whether it's widow or divorce, or as you say, heartbreak, breakup, widowhood. So what a wonderful contribution to make. And I do have several people in my clinical practice who are in this same boat. So I'm all ears, my dear.
Oh.
So tell me what's most significant here for people to know.
Nobody wants to be in the club of being divorced or widowed or experience a breakup. Because it's all about grief.
Yes.
And a place to start is understanding the stages of grief after a breakup. Mm-hmm. And as we all know, Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross has her 5 stages of grief. And the loss of a love, you go through the same stages. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and finally getting to the other side of accepting your loss and wanting to move on. And there's truly no timetable. I'm always asked, well, how long after my divorce am I going to feel better and I'm going to want to date? Or how long after I lost my spouse?
Yeah.
And it's something that it's not necessarily linear. It goes up and down. You think you're doing great. And there are some signs and some signals that you are ready to date again. And I call them my 7 clues you're ready to date. And the first one is you've let go of your anger. You know, the bitter, vicious anger you felt has somehow evaporated, like you're not living and breathing it. It no longer rules your life. And all of a sudden you come to a place where you know that the best revenge is your own happiness. And in the beginning, the best revenge is getting back because you think that's going to feel good. And also, you're no longer clueless or in the dark about the role that you played in your breakup or your divorce. And it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow especially if you've been cheated on or you feel that you've been the perfect spouse and you were blindsided. But somehow, if you do some soul searching, you might get some clues as to what you might have done differently. Not that what you wish you didn't do, but maybe in the next relationship, how you're going to be.
Yes.
And this one is especially important, Dr. Duffy. You're no longer obsessed with your ex. And for any of your listeners whose heart has been broken, the minute you go to sleep, the second you wake up, if you wake up during the middle of the night, no matter what you're doing, your ex seems to just be so pervasive in your being. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You know, you can be driving, you can be getting gas, going food shopping. No matter what it is that you're doing, everything reminds you of your ex.
Yes.
But what's most important is when your ex no longer controls your every waking moment. And the best feeling about your ex is you feel indifferent. It's like, and you never believe that you're going to get to that point. I love this one, that you're pretty sure that being single is not a fatal disease. In fact, you're sort of enjoying it. It's like, wow, you know, being with yourself isn't so horrible. M&Ms and potato chips for dinner because you're alone. Or you can go spend the whole day out and not come home until midnight because you feel like it. And then I like, this one to me is really sweet. The idea or the prospect of meeting someone puts a smile on your face, and all of a sudden you find yourself paying attention to others. And, you know, you can be out with your couple friends and you're saying, wow, you know, someone like this guy or this woman might be really nice. And maybe you're starting feeling better how you look, paying attention to what you're wearing or what you're eating, or just feeling that you want to be attractive to someone.
Yes.
And I really believe that it's okay to go with your gut and not the calendar. Everybody's situation is different. You know,
It's a good expression.
You know, there are people who are widows and they spent the last 5 years with their spouse having a progressive degenerative disease, or without going into all the scenarios. And to put it very simply, you just feel ready.
Right.
And, you know, for some people, after a divorce, it could be a month. For others, it could be a year. And I think you're ready to date when you wanted to enhance your life, not just ease the pain or fill the void.
Very, very, yes, well put.
And a rebound is so easy. And there are, believe it or not, there are some pros of a rebound, even though for the most part I would warn against them. But let's talk about the pros, because I think that's a little bit out of the box.
Yes.
The pros of a rebound is that it just gets you back into dating. But you have to be very clear with the person that you're meeting that they are your transitional person, or you're out there practicing. Not let that person think that. I mean, I've been the recipient, I think, of somebody rebounding, and I was their date. I was ready, but they weren't.
Yes.
And it might give you a boost of self-confidence because somebody wants to go out with you. But you have to be really careful, because if you're dating somebody who's on the rebound, they can be very hot and heavy, whether it's a woman or a man, and then all of a sudden they scare themselves. And they will be out of there as quickly as they were all over you.
They scare themselves? Because
tell me
more. Yeah.
They're not ready. but they wanted that feeling of closeness and excitement.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, they realized that they were just in a 6-year relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been out of it for 5 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and found themselves spending every waking moment and realizing that, oh my God, I'm not ready for this.
Right.
And
That's a very important point, and I'm thinking of several of my clients now. Yeah.
And then we get to this whole other group of people who they are widowed, they're divorced, their heart's been broken, and now they want to get married, but they don't want to date. Or they want to date, but they don't want to get hurt. Or they want to date, and they don't want to do any of the online apps or dating sites. And the clock is ticking. 6 months have gone by, 2 years have gone by, and they are miserable. So my plan for that kind of a client is to embark on a 60-day dating action plan. And that's because, and this is not my quote, but I love it, a dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. And a plan backed by action makes your dreams come true.
Yes, I've read that as well. I love it.
And the author of that is Greg Reed.
Mm.
So when you come up with a 60-day dating action plan,
Mm-hmm.
and I have it in the book, Dating Again with Courage and Confidence, I give you something to do every single day that's going to take you out of your comfort zone and get you to the place that you want to be, so at the end of 60 days, you will be dating.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to follow my own rules. So I came up with the goals of the 60-day dating action plan so that you're just not thinking that in 60 days, it's just going to be better. I want you to know what you can expect.
Mm-hmm.
And what you can expect is that you'll be a confident and resilient dater. You're going to be an online dating connoisseur. You will act as your own dating service. And you're going to look forward to attending singles events and other social gatherings, even if they were crappy. And the reason why I say that is because you've done it and you've tried it. And most importantly, you're never going to let a dating opportunity pass you by.
Mm.
And, it starts out with identifying what you want, and then week by week, and you're going to mark it up on your calendar, all the things that you need to do. And it goes from signing up for a mainstream online dating site to a niche site to attending singles events to having your own personal dating trainer, which could be anybody in your life.
And that could be you as well. You do dating coaching, correct?
Absolutely, it could be. It could
Yes.
be me.
Yes. And
Well,
let us know now, and we'll say also at the end of the broadcast how people can get in touch with you, Fran Greene.
Absolutely. And also, we'll let people know that if they buy Dating Again with Courage and Confidence and write a review on Amazon, I would be happy to give each person a complimentary 60-minute free consultation in person or on the phone to get their dating life up and running. Because as I've said before, life is not a dress rehearsal, and you got one shot at it. And just because you had a relationship that didn't work, it doesn't mean that love is not on the horizon. And one of the things that I really believe, that a relationship ended because it was not fixable.
Mm.
And there's would-haves, could-haves, should-haves, and no matter how much work you do, if one person doesn't want to work, it's not going to happen.
Right.
And
It takes two, as they say. Right.
yes.
So not fixable, and just to accept that, and that